What's up YouTube? It's your girl Madison Morgan, and my video today is going to be about liposuction. So the beginning of September, I went and got lipo done, and I went down to Miami and I saw Dr. Dowbak. What's up YouTube? Okay, so my video, So what's up YouTube? This is my first YouTube channel video, I guess. And I really don't know what I'm doing, but we're gonna figure it out. So my first video is going to be about lipo. The beginning of September, I got liposuction, I got lipo 360, and I went to Dr. Dowbak in Miami. This first video will give you all the details. I'm gonna show you my before, my afters. I'm gonna talk about my experience before surgery, after surgery. I'm also going to discuss my recovery house that I stayed at. And that's it. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk. So I'm going to start off by talking about my before surgery and after surgery experience. What made me decide to want surgery from Dr. Dowbak is I saw a client on her page that her stomach looked like my stomach. Just the little hangy, pouchy part at the bottom when you first have a baby. I wanted to get rid of that. The girl on the page looked just like me, so I was like, well, I'm gonna go to her. Scheduled surgery, I guess. I emailed the email that was listed on the Instagram of Dr. Dowbak. So once I emailed her, they responded and they told me to send pictures at all different angles so they could see my body and all of that. So once I sent the pictures in, they quoted me $6,000, which was a lipo 360 with the BBL. I didn't want a BBL, so I just told them I just only want lipo 360. So they told me for just lipo 360 it's $4,500. I didn't originally schedule to get my arms or my legs done. That was added later on. To book your surgery, you have to put down a deposit of $500. They give you the option to pay a little as you go. You can actually do payments on it. I think she said you can book your appointment as far as a year or two in advance. So you can pay on this. It's good to pay the deposit to lock in your price in case the prices were to go up. So I said, okay, let's do it. September, I think September the 6th is when I got my surgery done. So I paid the $500 and that was that. I had a few questions here or there throughout the whole process. They responded quick enough for me, but when I arrived for surgery for my pre-op, my check-in, I heard stories from other girls that were saying that the communication was bad. They had attitude. The people they were texting had attitudes and all of this stuff. I didn't personally experience that, but the story that people were experiencing it was a high rate of people who went through. Check-in a day before surgery, so I checked in and everything was fine. The staff was friendly. There was a little bit of a wait. I guess it's first come, first serve. They tell you a time, but it's first come, first serve. She showed me what she was gonna do, what she was gonna take fat from, how she was gonna do this, how she was gonna do that. I didn't book a recovery house. I actually booked a 7-day Airbnb, and one of my friends was supposed to come with me to help take care of me. That didn't go as planned, so I was actually down there by myself. Another friend from down there in Miami was supposed to meet me and help take care of me. One of the nurses said, I do not think that's a good idea. You should go to a recovery house, at least for the first 24 to 48 hours. So now I'm like last minute scrambling, trying to figure out where am I gonna stay. One of the coordinators, she gave me the info for a recovery house. So I'm gonna talk about that later. Also, you have to get your own blood work done. You have to get a physical done, you have to get blood drawn. I made the mistake of paying for my blood work when I could have got my blood work done at my doctor's office and not paid anything and used my insurance. So if you have insurance, use that to get your blood work done. It was expensive. I think I paid like $200-300 just for the blood work. I could have saved that by just going to my regular doctor and using my insurance. So make sure you weigh all your options when it comes to that. They say it's really good, well, not they say, but it is really good to try to get your weight down as much as possible before surgery. You get better results. I didn't take that serious enough, and my body mass index was borderline too high. It was almost to the point to where I couldn't get the surgery because my BMI was too high. When you're on anesthesia and you're asleep, it's only so much fat they can take. So you want the best results. So make sure you try to lose weight or get your weight down if that's a problem you had. Mine was way too high. I think their max was 35% or 34%. So don't be anywhere near that. Mine was really high. So yeah, booked my flight, flew down there, stayed at the Airbnb. I was actually there 2 days before surgery. I went to my pre-op at the doctor's office and paid the rest of my remaining balance that day. The next morning was surgery. So the nurse told me about the recovery house. So I called the girl from the recovery house, and the morning of surgery, she met me there. She got all my bags, got all my stuff, got my prescription. I gave her my card, and she went and picked up all your prescriptions. She took all my clothes to the house. Anything that was of value, she told me to give to her. She kept it separate. Went to surgery. A little nervous because in your head you're gonna be thinking, should I be doing this? Or, just it's gonna be last minute jitters. So last thing I remember is counting backwards from 10, and that was it. This is where things get a little scary. I've had surgery in the past, and when you wake up from surgery, any surgery, you are numb. You should not be in any pain. You should be still pain medicined up. I mean, no pain, no nothing, When I woke up off the table from Dr. Dowbak's surgery, I felt like I had been thrown off a mountain. I was screaming. I was screaming in pain. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I was screaming, help, 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 help. And the girl next to me was screaming, and the girl next to her was screaming. Everybody was screaming and in pain. That's one thing that, now looking back now, that wasn't right. You shouldn't be in that type of pain when you wake up from surgery. It was the worst pain ever. When you wake up from surgery, you should still be numb, just a little sleepy, but numb. When I tell you, I felt everything. It's almost as if they didn't use any pain medicine during this surgery. And I don't know what step or what corner they're breaking, or what corner they're cutting, or whatever, but that's not normal. I don't know what they're not doing correctly. It was the worst pain ever. Still to this day, I don't know why, but that's something that you need to be aware of if you're deciding to go to her for surgery. Excruciating pain. And I felt this for the first 24 to 48 hours. Got to the recovery house. I didn't want to be bothered. I just wanted to sleep. When you're in that much pain, you don't want to be awake. You just want to be asleep. So I went to sleep. Every time I woke up, I just wanted to sleep. I ate a little chicken noodle soup, drank some water. They gave like pain meds, like Percocets or oxycodone or something like that. Me personally, I don't take pain meds. So I just took extra strength Tylenol, which made me feel a little better, but the freaking pain was bad. It wasn't normal. After the first 24 hours, you feel a whole lot better. They're going to put you in a beginner faja. It's big. It's a big faja. I think after I came out of surgery, I was in a 2XL faja. When I got home and bought my first faja, I was in a large. So it's a huge faja because you're so swollen. It's just huge. My only issue is before surgery, I had stretch marks on my stomach because I just had a baby. My stomach was a little looser at the bottom from where I had gained so much weight. So after surgery, my stomach was fairly flat, but right there in the front where my stomach was a little bit more saggier at or looser at, it was almost as if it was still just kind of loose. So maybe my better solution would have been a tummy tuck. I probably should have got a tummy tuck, but this was kind of a temporary fix. I didn't want to do the whole tummy tuck and all of this stuff until after I knew I was completely done with having kids. So I didn't do the whole tummy tuck and all of that. So as long as my stomach was flat, I was okay. As long as my stomach was flat, I was okay. I didn't care about the stretch marks or a little extra looser skin. I mean, I'm just gonna do some crunches and see did that help. But overall, I was happy. My back fat was gone. The only issue I had was my inner thighs and my arms. I could tell that they had been lipoed, but not really. If I put it on a scale of 0 to 100, I probably saw a 12% difference, I guess. It wasn't really a big difference. My arms or my inner thighs, not really at all. I heard that if you go out the country and get it done, it's a really big difference. So maybe he did my arms and my inner thighs last and was running out of time and just did what she could do. That's what I'm assuming. But arms and thighs, not really a big difference. So, oh yeah, my arms was an additional $600 and my inner thighs was an additional $600. So $1,200 plus the $4,500, so $5,700 for the full amount. But that doesn't include your recovery house. If you stay at a recovery house, I recommend that you do stay at a recovery house. My recovery house, I think, was $150 a day, and that includes 3 meals a day. They take you to your doctor's appointments. They pick you up. They get your prescriptions. Someone is always there 24/7, like nurse aide, to help you, which I'm glad that I went to a recovery house instead of staying at the Airbnb. Because if anything serious happens and you don't have anyone there with you, it could be really bad. So a recovery house I would recommend. Depending on if you decide to get a BBL or not, your pain is gonna be way different. Recovery house I was at, it was girls there who, everybody had BBL except me. So everybody was laying around on their stomachs. Everybody was laying on their stomachs. I was the only one sitting down on my butt because I didn't get a BBL. And they seemed like they was in a little bit more pain than me, of course, because of the whole butt thing. So ladies, if you decide to get a BBL, you'll probably be in a little bit more pain. Okay, my recovery house. The recovery house that I stayed in is called New Look Recovery. It's a fairly new recovery house. I think she said 4 or 5, no more than 6 months old. I could tell. Well, let me start by saying the reason I chose this recovery house is because the owner of the recovery house is one of the sweetest people I've ever met. She's so caring and catering, and her voice is just so soothing. Like, I picked her hands down because she made sure I was okay. She was very accommodating. The problem with it being a fairly new recovery house is the staff and the food. The staff was kind of, I felt inexperienced. As far as the food, I've seen people eating Chick-fil-A, I've seen people eating McDonald's. She didn't have a set menu on, she didn't have a set menu on what people would eat, and the food that people were getting wasn't very nutritional. It was more so she's saying, hey, what do you want to eat today? Hey, what do you want to eat today? Hey, what do you want to eat today? Which isn't how it should have been done. It should be, hey, this is what we're serving today. This is nutritional. This is vegetables. This is this. Not people eating McDonald's and Chick-fil-A. It just wasn't very healthy when it comes to food. Some people there, such as myself, I have a problem with eating bad. So if you ask me, do I want Chick-fil-A? Of course I'm gonna say yes. I'm not gonna say no to Chick-fil-A, but at the end of the day, you have to make smart decisions because you just made an investment to your look. So you don't want your money to go to waste. You just had surgery that you pay over $6,000 for, but you want Chick-fil-A. You want to eat the stuff that's causing you to get the surgery in the first place. It's just not a smart idea. The recovery house was clean. The food that was cooked, when it was cooked, it was very delicious, very good food. Everybody was sweet. Everything was, everything is just kind of new, and it's kind of in the process of getting to where it needs to be. So it has the potential of being very great. It was very clean and neat and modern, which I like. But, like I said, some of the staff was inexperienced and some of the food wasn't very healthy. She was literally 4 minutes from Dr. Dowbak's office, clinic. So that ride home, when you first wake up from surgery, 4 minutes is perfect. You don't want to be anywhere farther than that, because I felt like I was dying. So I'm going to post some of my before and after pics. But right now I'm going to show you my stomach right now, and show you what I like and don't like about how my surgery came out. So I have on a black faja. You can see foam inside of it, but I actually have a black foam board on the inside. I don't know if you can see that, but this is my faja. This is a foam board. I have on a foam board because it helps with smoothing the skin out for me. It gave me that extra cushion I need between my faja and my body, because my faja was still rubbing my skin and it was irritating it. So this board helped with creating a barrier, and also it gets tight in the back, so it helped with compression as well. Okay, so as you can see, this is the foam board that wraps all the way around. I have one piece of foam here. I'm going to show you why. Let me take this off. So this foam board works great. I put it on the inside of my faja. But the only problem I was having with it was on this side of my body. It was causing me to get a dent. You can kind of see it a little bit still here, right up in here. So I placed this here so that when I put the foam around it, it wouldn't do it. So it's kind of fixing itself now with this. But I have to put this because it was giving me a dent. This side was fine. This side wasn't. So that's this. This is my backboard. This piece goes here above the butt to put pressure here for people who have, I got this part lipoed out. Show you my back. This is what my back looks like. So no back fat like before. This is me from the side. So as I stated before, my stomach at the bottom was a little bit looser than the rest. So now after surgery, it feels a little bit softer, almost like a little more deflated. And this part right here is still swollen. And then this part is kind of flat. So that's how you can see in the mirror. It goes kind of like firm to like this little piece here from it being a little bit looser. But I'm still swollen. I'm only a month and a half in. So this part should still go down a little bit more. Just the key is to wearing your garments, tight garments with compression. You should always wear your compression tight. See, when I put on clothes, I don't feel no type of way about the bottom of my stomach, because before this part was hangy and my waist was way wider. So when I put clothes on, I'm happy. So after I'm done having kids and stuff, then I'll do the tummy tuck maybe, and all of that. But it wasn't really in like the whole stretch marks thing. It really doesn't bother me. So as long as I'm happy when I put my clothes on, that's all that matters. So yeah, this is my after. Thanks for watching.